Hello everyone, I Vinay Kumar Sharma welcome all of you in today's class. Dear students, in today's class we are going to cover the chapter number 2 of Geography, Natural Resources, Land, Air and Water. Under this chapter we will try to understand the importance of these natural resources. But before we start, let's have a look over the term resource. So what is a resource? A resource means anything available in the environment and that satisfy the human needs is called a resource. For example, pen with which we write, notebook and water. These all are the resources. Now let's come to the next topic. The next topic is natural resources. So anything available in the nature and satisfy human needs after modification or sometimes without modification is called a natural resource. For example, air, water, these are the resources which can be used by the human beings without much modification. But if we talk about food and minerals like petrol and diesel, they can be used by the human beings after modification. Our next topic is land. So out of many natural resources, land is the most important natural resources, and it is estimated that about 29% area of the earth is covered under land and about 71% area of the earth is there which is covered under water. But as you know that all over the world same type of land forms are not there. Somewhere we find mountains, somewhere we find plateaus, somewhere we find plains. So due to these landforms and the climatic conditions, the distribution of the population all over the world is not same. People prefer to live in those areas where living conditions are good, where agriculture is possible, where climate is good. So it is estimated that about 90% of the world's population lives only in the 30% area of the world. Rest area of the world are there where very less people are living, like in the forest, in the deserts or in the marshy areas. Afterwards they telling us that we use the land for different purposes, like land is used for agriculture, land is used for mining. Mining here mean that we take out different type of minerals from the earth's surface like coal, iron, gold and many other minerals. Similarly, we get the wood from the forest, and other type of human activities are also done on the land, like we make a road, we make homes and many other activities are done only on the land. But as you know that the population of the world is increasing day by day. Due to these things there is more pressure on the land, because this is a resource which cannot be increased. On the other hand, the population of the world is increasing. Next topic we have soil. Soil is what? Let's try to understand. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil, and in soil we find different type of organic matters as well as non-organic matter, and This natural resource is very much precious because we do different activities like we grow vegetables, fruits, we do agriculture only on the soil. So there is a need to conserve this wonderful natural resource, and there are different methods by which we can conserve this wonderful resource, like mulching. Mulching means to cover the soil with the dry grass. The second method is counter plowing. Counter plowing means to plow in the opposite direction of the water or the wind in which it blows. Similarly, we can make rock dams, terrace farming, and shelter beds are the some other methods by which this wonderful and precious resource can be conserved. The next important resource is water. Water is a vital, renewable, natural resource, and it is estimated that about 71% area of the world is covered under water. That's why our earth is also called watery or blue planet. But out of this available water, very less water is there which can be used. Nearly 70% of this water occurs in the ice sheets or in the glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and the mountain regions, which cannot be used. Only 1% of the total available water is there which can be used. For example, we can use this water for different type of activities, like we can use this water for washing, cleaning, agriculture, and various other purposes. And this water is found in the different places like underground. Similarly, we find the water on the surface in rivers. Similarly, we find the water in lakes, water vapor, and in the atmosphere we also find the water. As we know that water is a wonderful resource, but it is limited. So there is a need to conserve this wonderful natural resource. So here we have discussed certain points by which we can conserve the water. First of all, they're telling us that forest and other vegetation cover slow and the surface runoff the replenish underground water. So overall here they want to say that we should plant more and more trees, which is very useful for the conservation of water. Second method is water harvesting. Water harvesting is the another method by which we can conserve the water. Okay, so what we can do under this, the canals which we are using for irrigations, they should be properly lined to minimize the loss of water seepage. Similarly, we can use the sprinklers, and similarly we can also use in the dry regions the method of drip or trickle irrigation. The next important natural resource is natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and the atmosphere, to which we call biosphere. Vegetation and wildlife are valuable resource. Like plants provide us timber, they give the shelter to animals. Plants produce oxygen that we breathe, and the plants also protect soil. Natural vegetation and wildlife are very much important resource. So there is a need to conserve these natural resources. Forests are our wealth, and plants give shelter to the animals, and together means forest as well as plants. They maintain the ecosystem. They make the balance of nature. But changes of climate and the interference of human beings can cause the loss of natural habitat for plants as well as for animals. And this is happening nowadays due to the human interference. Many species have become vulnerable and endangered, and some of them are there who are at the verge of extinction. The verge of extinction here means they are about to finish. Their generation is about to finish. So overall we can say that all natural resources are very much important. So we should take care of these resources. We should use these resources wisely so that our upcoming generations may also utilize these resources and there would not be any kind of adverse effect on the human growth and human development. Dear students, this is all about in today's chapter. Now let's recapitulate whatever we have studied in this chapter. First of all, we studied that anything available in the environment and satisfy human need is called a resource. For example, pen, notebook, water, if they satisfy the human need, then it can be called a resource. Next we studied that anything available in the nature and satisfy human need after modification or without modification is called a natural resource. Then we studied that land is the most important natural resource. About 90% of world's population lives in only 30% area of the world. Then we studied that soil can be conserved through various methods like mulching, contour plowing, by making rock dam, terrace farming and shelter belt. Next we studied that only 1% of fresh water is available and fit for human use. Rest water is either salty or it is in the form of ice in glaciers or mountain caps. Then we studied that afforestation, water harvesting and strip irrigation are some methods to conserve water. And in the last we studied that changes of climate and human interference can cause to loss of natural habitat of plants and animals. So this is all about in today's chapter. I hope you people would have learned something new and interesting. God bless you all. Thank you very much.